Welcome to Biggest Spoilars, the destination for exclusive spoilers, latest updates.
The dawn over Port Charles felt strangely holy, like the city was being washed clean by some invisible baptismal current moving through the early morning air. A quiet mist hung over the harbor, drifting across the brick streets like a gentle spiritual veil. Everything felt suspended, hushed, waiting for something. Waiting for a revelation. Waiting for a resurrection. For days, Dante Falconeri had felt an ache in the center of his chest, a tightening that refused to loosen, a cold echo that whispered of unfinished stories and unresolved spirits. Everyone told him to accept Sam's disappearance as her tragic end. They said to grieve. They said to move forward. They said to let the healing begin. But Dante could never baptize himself into a fresh start, not when something in his gut screamed that Sam's story wasn't over. Today, he would learn the truth. Today, his baptismal cleansing would turn into an inferno. Because today, Dante would uncover evidence that Sam McCall was not dead. She was alive. And someone in Port Charles had been hiding the truth. At the PCPD, the fluorescent lights flickered like a warning from the universe. Dante hadn't slept. Shadows clung beneath his eyes, and his hands trembled around the stack of files he'd been obsessing over since the night Sam vanished without a trace. Every missing person report, every scrap of surveillance footage, every witness account, he'd studied them until the words blurred. But there was one thing bothering him, something so minor, so strange, so easily overlooked that he hadn't questioned it at first. A storage unit rented under a false identity. A unit linked to an address Sam once used 5 years ago. A unit no one had bothered to check. Until now. Dante grabbed his keys and left the station like a man possessed. The storage facility sat on the outskirts of Port Charles, its rows of metal doors stretching like a cemetery of secrets. Fog curled around Dante's legs as he approached the unit. He didn't know what he expected to find, maybe old clothes, maybe dusty documents, maybe nothing at all. But the moment he slid the key into the rusted lock, a strange electricity ran up his spine. Like the moment right before a baptism, when the water touches your skin and your soul knows something is changing. Dante lifted the metal door. His breath stopped. Inside the dimly lit unit was a table covered in photos, documents, burner phones, maps, and a black leather jacket Sam used to wear. It looked like someone had been living here, and recently. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was the photograph taped to the far wall. A blurry security image. A woman. Walking near the docks. The face wasn't clear, but the silhouette, the hair, the jacket. Sam, Dante breathed, knees weakening. The shock hit him like a tidal wave. He staggered backward, clutching the doorframe, feeling as though someone had taken the baptismal water of rebirth and turned it into ice. It was her. It had to be her. Sam wasn't dead. She was alive. And someone had hidden that from him. Rage began to simmer inside him, low and slow at first, then hotter, sharper, more consuming with every breath. Dante grabbed the photograph, hands shaking violently. Who did this? Who kept you from me? He searched the room, papers, receipts, scribbled notes, burner phone logs. One thing kept appearing. One name. One connection. Spinelli. Dante's pulse roared in his ears. Spinelli had been acting strange for weeks, jumpy, nervous, always disappearing for cyber errands. Dante had chalked it up to stress, but now he saw the truth. Spinelli knew something. Spinelli had lied to him. The baptism of calm shattered completely. Dante's fury took its place. Dante stormed out of the storage facility, his footsteps echoing like war drums across the concrete. The fog shifted around him as if trying to hold him back, but nothing could stop him now. He drove directly to Maxie's apartment, where Spinelli had been staying temporarily. Each red light he passed felt like a taunt. Each second felt like a stolen breath Sam had been forced to endure alone. He reached the apartment and pounded on the door. It flew open, revealing Spinelli, with wide eyes, messy hair, and a guilty expression that confirmed everything before a word was exchanged. "Dante," he stammered. "Is everything?" Dante grabbed Spinelli by the shirt and shoved him against the wall. "Where is she?" Spinelli's face drained of color. Who? Dante slammed him harder, voice raw with betrayal. "Don't play with me. Sam is alive." Maxie screamed from the kitchen. "Dante. Stop." Dante didn't stop. He was drowning in fury, in heartbreak, in 1,000 nights spent begging for closure he never received because closure had been stolen from him. "Tell me everything," Dante growled, eyes blazing like a man who had gone through hell and refused to return without the truth. Spinelli trembled. "Dante, please. Tell me. Now." Spinelli inhaled shakily, his voice barely a whisper. "I didn't think you were ready to know." Dante's fist clenched. "Say that again." Maxie rushed between them. "Dante, listen to me. Spinelli wasn't trying to hurt you." "You think this doesn't hurt?" Dante shouted. "You think finding a room full of evidence of the woman I love being alive, doesn't tear me apart?" Maxie's eyes widened. "You found it?" Dante nodded sharply. "The storage unit. The photos. The maps. The jacket. Her handwriting. Everything. So stop lying to me and tell me where she is." Spinelli squeezed his eyes shut. "Dante, she's in danger." "So am I," Dante snapped. "Because if you don't talk, I swear." Maxie pushed Dante's chest hard. "Stop threatening him." "Oh, I can do more than threaten," Dante warned, stepping forward. "I'm done being kept in the dark. I'm done being treated like some fragile soul who can't handle the truth." His chest heaved. His voice broke. "I've mourned Sam. I've grieved her. I've dreamed about her calling out to me. And you," he pointed at Spinelli, "you let me drown in that grief, knowing she was alive." Spinelli broke down crying. Maxie held her breath. "Dante," Spinelli said weakly. "Sam didn't want you to know." The room froze. The oxygen disappeared. Dante staggered backward as if stabbed. "That's impossible." Spinelli wiped his tears. "She made me promise. Sam reached out to me weeks after her disappearance. She asked me to help her hide. She said telling you would put you in danger." Dante shook his head violently, tears now burning his eyes. "Why would she think that? Why wouldn't she trust me? Why would she let me believe she was dead?" Spinelli whispered, "Because you are the one person she was afraid to lose for real." Those words gutted Dante. He sank onto the couch, breath trembling, emotions spiraling. Maxie sat beside him, squeezing his shoulder gently. "Dante. Sam loves you. That's the only explanation." He looked at Maxie, voice cracking, "Then why hide? From me? From everyone? Why vanish?" Spinelli hesitated. Dante's eyes narrowed. "Spinelli, don't lie again." Spinelli inhaled. "She didn't disappear because she wanted to. She disappeared because someone forced her to." Dante surged to his feet again. "Who?" Spinelli pulled out a flash drive trembling in his hand. "This is everything. Sam gave me these files. These accounts. These recordings. She begged me not to share them unless you found the storage unit." "Why?" Dante whispered. "Because she wanted to protect you," Spinelli said. "She said if you made it far enough to find her stash, then you were already in the danger zone, and she needed you to know the truth." Dante stared at the flash drive like it held heaven and hell inside it. He took it slowly. "What's on it?" he asked quietly. Spinelli swallowed. "Proof. Names. Locations. And the identity of the person she's running from." Dante's heart hammered. "Who?" Spinelli whispered. "Valentine." The room went silent. Maxie gasped. Valentine Cassadine? Spinelli nodded. He's been hunting her. She found something he needed buried forever. She didn't tell me what. But she said if Valentine knew she'd told anyone, we'd all be targets. Dante's fury returned hotter than before, coursing through him like boiling baptismal water. He grabbed Spinelli by the shoulders, not to threaten, but to steady himself. Spinelli, where is she right now? Spinelli broke again into tears. I don't know. I only get anonymous messages from her burner number. She said she changes locations every few days. That's not good enough, Dante said sharply. Spinelli sobbed. I know. Dante turned to Maxie. Stay here. Lock the doors. Don't let Spinelli leave. Spinelli protested. Dante, you can't go after Valentine alone. Dante turned slowly, eyes dark with a fury no one in Port Charles had ever seen from him before. I'm not going after him, Dante said coldly. I'm going to END him. Maxie gasped. Dante, no. But Dante was already out the door. Later that afternoon, Dante marched into the metro court like a storm walking on two legs. Guests turned. Staff froze. Even Nina, behind the bar, felt a chill run down her spine as Dante stalked through the crowd. Valentine sat at a table near the balcony, drinking whiskey like a man who believed he controlled the entire world. He didn't notice Dante approaching. But he felt the shadow fall over him. Valentine glanced up. What a surprise, he said calmly. Detective Falconeri. Dante leaned forward, hands on the table, voice low and lethal. You're going to tell me where Sam is? Valentine smirked. Sam? Dante's voice dropped even lower. Laugh one more time. I dare you. Valentine arched a brow. Is this about her disappearance? Dante, I'm sorry. Truly. But she's gone. You must accept that. Dante grabbed Valentine by the collar and slammed him against the wall. Guests screamed. Nina gasped. Dante, she cried. But he didn't release him. His face inches from Valentine's, Dante hissed. I found her storage unit. I found her pictures. I found the proof that she's alive. And I found out you've been hunting her. Valentine's eyes widened just for a millisecond. Just long enough to confirm everything. Dante shoved him again. If Sam is hurt, if she's scared, if she's alone somewhere because of you, I swear on my badge and on my life. His voice cracked with emotion. I will make you wish you never drew breath. Valentine's smirk faded. Nina stepped forward. Dante, let him go. Dante ignored her. You have one chance, Dante growled. Tell me where she is. Valentine swallowed. I don't know where she is. But I know who does. Dante's eyes narrowed. Who? Valentine hesitated. Dante slammed him again. Who? Valentine finally whispered. Jason. The entire restaurant went silent. Dante froze. Nina gasped. Jason? Valentine nodded. He's been receiving coded messages from her. He's keeping them hidden. He knows how to interpret her signals. He's known for weeks. Dante stepped back slowly, shock consuming him. Jason. Jason knew Sam was alive. And he said nothing. Dante's heart splintered. He turned sharply and marched toward the exit. Nina called after him, Dante, please, don't do something you'll regret. Dante didn't look back. His voice echoed through the restaurant. The only thing I regret is not realizing sooner. Outside the metro court, Dante inhaled shakily, staring at the flash drive in his hand. He thought of Sam's laugh. Her smile. Her warmth. Her bravery. Her love. She was alive. Alive and running. Hunted. Alone. And he would burn the world down to bring her home. Dante walked toward the docks with a single mission now. Find Jason Morgan. Force the truth. And tear down anyone who stood between him and Sam. The baptism had begun. The encouragement was gone. And now the angry threats were just beginning. Willow opened the frontal door to Drew's house to find Liesl there. She walked into the living room and told Willow that she would heard about her rearmost engagement. Are you then to change my mind? Willow asked. Marrying Drew isn't my first choice for you, but it's your life. I am not then to condemn, Liesl said, surprising Willow, who thanked her. Do not thank me. Thank your mama. She's the one who talked some sense into me. Liesl told Willow that Nina wasn't happy to hear she'd be marrying Drew, but realized the most important thing was Willow's happiness. Willow unenthusiastically claimed she was indeed happy and asked Willow to thank Nina for her. Why do not you thank her yourself? Is not it time you made amends with your mama? Liesl asked. Willow, ever the pris, wondered how she could forgive Nina after all the falsehoods she had told, not realizing she was about to marry Drew. Liesl had a politic answer, because she's her mama and she loves you. Liesl also got blunt. You are acting like an ungrateful, choleric child. From the moment Nina said about you were her son, she has done nothing but love you. You must see how important she fights for you, she protects you, she has stood by your side for so important, and yet you turn your reverse on her. That isn't how family works. You must make amends with your mama. Just also, Nina arrived. Liesl explained she had been staying in the auto. An irked Willow asked Nina why she would indeed want to come to the marriage since she abominated Drew so much. I would learn to accept the two of you if that means I could be part of your life again, Nina said. Knowing me, I'll presumably fail you again, but I can promise you this. I'll love and support you for the rest of your life, no matter what. Astonishingly, a prissy Willow told Nina that perhaps they could work on having a relationship. Dispensable to say, Nina was thrilled. Still, Willow had to add, I am not sure I can ever trust you again or that we will be as close as we formerly were, but I'm willing to let you be a part of my life because the verity is, I've missed you too. Brooklyn advised Chase that he was no way going to be suitable to cook a successful lemon regale in the Quartermain house, or rather, Tracy's house. Brooklyn refocused out that indeed Olivia had given up, but Chase claimed that he could do it. It's been 30 times since anyone has been suitable to get a lemon on the Quartermain table, she refocused out, but Chase claimed that they had no way been there before to cook one. When Michael entered the room, Brooklyn asked him to help cook. I do not know. It might not be a good idea for Chase and me to be in the kitchen, you know, with all those shanks. Michael said. Brooklyn tried to play middleman, but Michael was infuriated by Chase's reservations that he'd shot Drew. As Chase continued to defend Willow, Michael told him that Willow planned to marry Drew on Thanksgiving. Michael explained that he saw Willow at General Hospital wearing Lila's engagement ring. That's shocking, Brooklyn said. Chase chalked it up as Drew's idea, as Willow could do no wrong in his eyes. Michael was furious. All I know is, I do not give a damn presently, he said before walking off. Once Michael was gone, Brooklyn wondered if Willow was doing this just to stay out of captivity. Chase was surprised to hear his woman say that and wondered why she no longer suspected Michael. Brooklyn explained that Michael had been so kind and probative about Gio and helped her make amends with her son. Chase was happy for his woman. So she agreed to help him cook a lemon. Dante informed Nathan that Rocco had made bail and thanked him for getting him out of juvenile detention before asking him for help on a case. He led him into the interrogation room and told Nathan, "We've to take another look at who shot Drew," he said, explaining they were exploring what Alexis might do to take dubitation off Willow. Nathan wondered if Chase might be the better Bobby to do this with, but Dante told him that he wanted Chase as far down from the case as possible. Nathan understood, so Dante said they had to start with Michael. After going over the train, Nathan realized Michael was the coming strongest suspect. Nathan also moved on to Curtis. Dante told him that he could have access to the Q estate due to his business association with Michael. Nathan also believed that Carly could be a suspect. Still, he kept going back to Curtis. At the gallery, Trina admitted to Ava that she ruined a trade with Jordan and she'd be taking her art-buying business away. I realized that my parents' marriage no way stood a chance with her waiting in the bodies all the time, Trina said. Ava advised Trina that she could not stop Curtis and Jordan from being together, but Trina allowed. Curtis would stay down from Jordan if she just asked. Anytime you give someone an claim, they end up begrudging you for it, Ava advised. Does not he watch about how important I begrudge her? Trina asked, just as Portia walked by. Portia asked Trina if she wanted to go snare Regale, but Trina told her she formerly had plans with Curtis and Stella. She invited Portia to join them, but Portia turned her down and told her she'd be working on Thanksgiving. Trina felt like her family was being torn piecemeal. As Ava watched them, she recalled Nina telling her that she threw Portia under the machine for Willow's sake. After Trina left, Portia and Ava sat down to converse. Portia admitted that she stressed losing Trina if the baby turned out to be Isaiah's. That is when Ava decided to rip the band-aid and tell Portia what Nina had done. Ava was not sure that Nina was specifically talking about Portia, but if it was you, she felt terrible about it. Portia didn't watch how terrible Nina felt. She still betrayed her. Portia shocked and bothered she'd give birth behind bars. She also bothered she'd have to reveal her justification, Isaiah. Stella met Curtis for Regale at the Port Charles Grill. He suggested they go away because Marty and Drew were at the bar. Stella refused to go, however. It's Drew, she said, if anyone should leave then with their tail between their legs. At the bar, Drew told Marty that he and Willow were getting wedded again, on Thanksgiving at his house. Marty agreed to officiate, but was surprised that Willow was willing to take Drew back. You know me. I always get what I want, like Willow, and getting vengeance on whoever crossed me, Drew pronounced. Over at Stella and Curtis' table, Stella could not stop glaring at Drew. She asked Curtis for a distraction. Like, how are effects between you and Portia? Have the two of you conformed yet? Stella asked. Curtis told Stella he was still getting a divorce, but excited her with the ultrasound picture. Soon, Trina arrived and told them she had done all the Thanksgiving shopping. Trina was thankful that Stella was with them after Drew had targeted her for an insurance fraud disquisition. That urged Stella to approach Drew at the bar. Good evening, Congressman Cutthroat. How numerous lives do you plan on destroying this evening? Stella asked. Stella was on a gash when she laid into Drew for abusing the power of his office to open a disquisition into her. That was fully and hugely loose. And you did it all to get back at my whoreson, she indicted. Drew also decided to come ageist, beget why not? You reach a certain age, and effects can come a little confusing, he shot back at Stella. Marty had to calm Stella down. But she was just getting going and brought up the firing. A smarter man would have changed his ways after commodity like that, but you're just as despicable as ever. I wouldn't be surprised if someone differently took a shot at your burrow. You earn it, she wrangled. Curtis asked Stella to return to the table, but Drew had to get into trouble. You might want to remind your aunt that examinations can be restarted, he said. Back at the table, Curtis pledged to cover his family, while at the bar, Drew told Marty he was sure that Curtis had shot him. Lulu was in gashes by the time she brought Rocco home. He promised her that he was okay before they walked into the house to reunite with Danny and Charlotte. Jason and Lulu went outdoors to talk while the teens got caught up. Rocco admitted he'd break into the lab again. It was kind of instigative, he said. Outside, Jason informed Lulu that he'd been told not to bring the kiddies to the PCPD to give their statements. Lulu assumed it was because Dalton was missing. Perhaps Sonny had commodity to do with this, Lulu wondered. Jason assured her that Sonny didn't kill Dalton. Lulu bothered he could pop back over at any moment.